ladies and gentlemen and future business leaders of Sri Lanka who are going to follow the new MBA course. So today, on this very important moment, I thought I will share with you some of the facts. You will remember that this MBA that we are going to start today is not just another course that you are going to follow in your life. It's completely a transformational exercise in the whole future. So, to make it a reality, let us look at some of the ways of how this can be really done. The techniques, I will explain you a few things, taking examples from my own life. I think that's the easiest way. Rather than telling you only the theories, I'll couple with these techniques with some examples so that you can easily understand and then take it into your mind and make a difference in the country as well. Now let's take the first one. That's what I call is the goal. Where are we heading for? Where are we going? What is our goal? Let me ask a question from you. How many of you have planned or decided where are you going to be in another 5 years, 10 years? Ask yourself, have you planned it? In 5 years, where are you going to be? In 10 years, where will you be? Would you mind showing your hands up, your plan? That's where the goal becomes very important. Because without a goal, we are not going to go anywhere. A goal is something like a location in a map. But deciding on the goal itself will not take you to the goal. There's another very important thing which you need to couple with your goal. And that is what I call purpose. The purpose of why you should go to that place or the goal. Now, without a purpose, a goal has no value. For an example, you take, let's take on a map Jaffna. There's another place on the map at the other end, Galle. So are we going to go to Galle or Jaffna? If it is Jaffna, why? Why should we go there? In life also, when you select your goal, be very precise why you should go there. Sometimes we have goals without a reason, without a purpose. Now, take your MBA. You're doing your MBA. Why are you doing it? What are you going to achieve? Where are you going to go with it? The purpose becomes very, very important. Because the goal and the purpose, these are two things, but they are very closely like mixed together. It's bonded together. It's twined. It's intertwined so that you cannot separate the purpose and the goal. Let's give you a few examples. Now, when I started my industry about 30 years ago, there was a time, we started very small, and there was a time that we ran short of orders. And at that time, we had probably less than 40 people with us. I'm talking about 30 years ago story. Not more than 40. And then we were doing well up to that time. But all of a sudden, I found there is a drop of orders. And we were finding it difficult to meet the day-to-day expenses even. So going back, when I think of that time, it was a scary time for me because we had some savings by that time. But then every day, every month, we had to keep on paying the salaries. but the income was going down week after week, month after month. And I thought things will change after some time. No, it was becoming worse. It went on for many months. Our income was dropping day after day. So then I was thinking, what should I do? That time, there was some sort of stagnation in the country's economy. And that was one of the reasons for our orders to go down. And I thought, why should we limit our market to Sri Lanka? Why shouldn't we go abroad and try the overseas markets? So when I thought that way, my goal was to now establish an overseas market, a way to export our products. And that was a goal. But what was the purpose? The purpose was to survive. The purpose was to look after our employees. The purpose was for me to live, my family to live, the families of the employees to live. A lot of powerful thoughts coming into my mind at the time that I was struggling with no orders. It was so powerful. I had no choice. This purpose of that we should go out of the country was really pushing me. And then I thought that's the best that we could do. Of course, with that thought, things turned out to be much better. We found ways of going towards that goal. We established the first BUI company, the BUI factory at that time. With the little money we had, we didn't have a lot of money to set up a big factory, but we started small. Went to BUI, signed the agreements, and started. So you could see the goal coupled with a powerful purpose is what really pushes us. I'll tell you another example because I'm stressing on the importance of this because this is really important to understand. Sometimes we forget. We are talking of vision, but then we never talk of purpose. I hardly have heard people talking about purpose. Why should we do that? That's not heard very often. There was again another incident. I can tell you hundreds of examples from time to time what happened, but then let me take another one. When we about 10 years back, there was a requirement that came in our factory. We make electrical switchboards. In the factory we set up about 30 years ago. We were manufacturing electrical switchboards mostly for the export market. And then we found a challenge of sourcing the required metal enclosures for it. One thing, the price was a challenge. If we want the quality that we wanted, it was at exorbitant prices. Then I thought, let's source from China. Went to China, one shipment comes nicely, then a second shipment doesn't come. The quality is useless. So I thought I should train the guys. I sent some of my engineers to China, train the Chinese people in their factories for a few months. But there was no change. It was same. So again, I had to set up another goal to have another factory to produce whatever we want, these enclosures we want. But it was not easy. It needed a lot of expenditure, machinery, knowledge. But then there was a purpose behind it. Without having our own enclosures, we couldn't meet the quality we wanted. We couldn't get the price we wanted. Either it was too high or the quality is too low. So we had no option. The purpose was so powerful, we couldn't have survived if we didn't set up our second factory again in a very close area without having this particular goal in mind. So I believe the importance of goal coupled with a purpose. Again, in the second example, the purpose was to be competitive, to give our customers the best product so that we maintain our leadership. Without that, we couldn't have survived. So every goal, when coupled with a purpose, makes a big change. The next important thing, how you decide on the goal, decide on why we should go to that goal. But the next important thing is we normally don't do this. We set up the goal, maybe we have a purpose, sometimes we don't even think of the purpose. So powerful, purpose is so powerful. You don't even think of the purpose. But the most important thing is to live in that dream. When you have a clear idea of the goal, you have to really live in that dream. Then only things starts happening. I think I should give you a few examples for you to understand. Now, when I thought of setting up this second factory, I had many challenges. One, we didn't have the capital. Two, we didn't have enough land. Three, we didn't have the technology to produce, manufacture. Of course, we invented products. We had the patents with us. But then you need technology to manufacture. So there were quite a lot of challenges. But then we had a very clear goal of producing whatever we wanted. In my mind, with all these absences, no place, not enough finances, no technology, but in my mind, we were having the factory. It was only in the mind. So just like having a factory, I was recruiting people. I was doing drawings of the building with some contractors so that I can set up. And we had a very little land where we had the first factory. We had a little land. We thought, okay, it was about 130 per block extra. We thought we'll have a 5-story building there and then give it a try. So we were making drawings and then got a few people to work for that. In my mind, there was no uncertainty. The factory was existing only in my mind. And believe me, we managed to find the finances. And all of a sudden, I was looking for land. There was no land available in the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone where we had the other factory. So we wanted something close by. That's why I thought we'll use the little bit of land we had. So when we recruited a few people, and then all of a sudden I get a call from the director of the BOI zone. I don't know what made him call me. He said, Lalith, there's a factory getting vacant. Are you interested in buying it? So this call came from nowhere. At that time, I was really looking for a place to set up the factory. It was not advertised. We never advertised. There was no point advertising for BOI land. I was just inquiring, nothing. No new vacant places. But this call came, somebody vacated the industry. We went and had a look. It was a big area, about 2 acres. It's a nice building, dilapidated, of course. Very old building. And we took it over, and it was just exactly what we were looking for. So when you live in that dream, so many things, I can keep on telling you examples until my time is over. So I'll give you one more example. Before I started my engineering career, I was working for Ceylon Tobacco as a field instructor because I missed my chance of getting into the university because there was I was short of marks to get into the university. So my father put me into the Ceylon Tobacco as a field instructor. So I was studying there, learning how to grow tobacco. That time I realized that I got the liking of becoming an engineer. It was too late. Now, today, I have become a fellow of many engineering institutions, become a chartered engineer, but all that happened because I got this goal and there was a big desire, drive in me, the reason why I should become an engineer was really pushing me ahead. With this, when I was in my mind, I was living the life of an engineer, but physically working as a field instructor. And all of a sudden, this was far away in an area called Madugoda, that's off Hunaskiriya. I'm talking about in 1970s, mid 1970s, no cell phones. And then I saw in a little newspaper cutting a sort of an advertisement calling for special apprentices in the apprenticeship board. And that's how I got the opportunity to get into the board and then start my career as a special apprentice. Whilst doing that, I followed the engineering exam of the UK Institution of Engineers and then got through those, and that's how I became an engineer. So again, you can see, how did that newspaper cutting come to me? You can see the opportunities are everywhere. But when you live in a dream, your mind gets tuned to a certain frequency. It's like you all have seen guitars. If you don't tune the guitar strings well, can you play music? No music comes out. It's only noise that will come out. Proper tuning is important. Now here or everywhere, we are filled with quite a lot of signals, mobile phone signals, television signals, radio signals in this room at every place. But do we see everything? No. We don't see it, we don't hear it. Unless we take a radio or a television, tune it to that particular frequency, whatever we want to hear, we hear it. If a call comes to our phone, on that particular frequency, if you take it, we hear it. Similarly, when we live in a dream, our entire mind starts setting up to this frequency. Then only we start seeing opportunities and possibilities of going there. There's a little science behind it. You can do your own research on it. There are neurons in our brainstem. So this networking of neurons makes a big change. These set of neurons decide whether to send your signals up to your conscious mind. Otherwise, it will just reject it. It's called RAS, or reticular activating system. You can do your own research on it and find out what it is and how it works. Change our frequencies in the mind. Unfortunately, there's no button for us to turn or a knob that we can turn and tune. The only way to tune that is living in a particular dream and imagining that you are already there. Then you start things which are relevant to that. You start seeing things which are relevant to that. So these are the important things that we need to keep in mind for us to move forward. But you don't have to know the technical things. These little techniques will help you, what I told you. That's having the goal clearly. Then knowing why you should go to the goal. Living in the dream will make wonders. But the most important thing. Now you will ask me, where do we get all the power to do this? It's important. Where do we get the power? It's already within us. All of us have this power within us built in, but we hardly make use of it because we don't believe in us. We don't have faith in us. And every time, if you have faith in you and start believing in you, you can see what you can do. It's quite easy to make your dreams come true and then make a big change in your lives and the society as well. I wish you the very best with your MBA program. And I believe that with the little things I shared right now, you can make use of it and then make a huge change, not only in yourselves, but in our country as well. Good luck.